In the 1800s, a rancher moved to a plot of land in southern Texas. This man was known as a rugged, hard-working farmer. Some believe that he might have been a vet who fought in the Civil War. It was said that this tough rancher was a bit disappointed in his son, as his son was a bit soft. He preferred reading books instead of doing work around the farm or going hunting. So the father, Henry, wanted to toughen his son up a bit. So he decided to make his son Levi go hunting. He was hoping that maybe after a while Levi would start to enjoy hunting like he did. So one day when Levi wasn't expecting it, his father walked into his room, gave him a rifle and told him to go out and kill a deer as they needed meat for dinner. He told his son to go to one of his favorite spots that was pretty deep in the woods. It was called Skull's Crossing. Now, not to his father's surprise, Levi did not want to go, but the father on this day put his foot down. Henry did not want to hear any excuses. He wanted his son to know the feeling of providing meat for the family. So Levi, with his new rifle in hand, walked out the door, and his dad watched him disappear into the thickness of the forest. He wanted to make sure that he was going in the right direction. But then just a little while later he returned. But instead of bringing home dinner, he told his dad that while he was hunting in Skull's Crossing, he saw something that scared him to death. He saw that there was a creature stalking him. He had never seen anything like this creature before. He told his dad that whatever this was had the head of a wolf, but it was walking on two legs just like a man. Now his dad did not believe him. He thought his son was just making up stories so he can come back home. So the father, now very angry, told him to go back outside and not to come back until he finally killed a deer. And this sadly was the last time his dad or anyone else would ever see him alive. Now as it started to get darker, Henry, he started to worry, and he wondered, what if his son Levi was telling him the truth? Or what if it was a person he saw that was wearing a mask trying to scare him away? And after thinking this, Henry got really worried, so he grabbed his guns and went out looking for his son, hoping that he was okay. But since it was now late and dark, he decided to get some of his friends and his neighbors to help him look. And shortly after arriving to Skull's Crossing, they saw a large creature that was hunched over Levi's body. And this creature was just devouring him. So terrified at what they were looking at, they all grabbed their guns and started to shoot at whatever this was. And spooked by the gunshot, this creature got up and ran away at insanely fast speeds. And they all saw that this creature was enormous. They estimated that it was in between 8 and 9 feet tall. They later said that it was a monster that resembled what we would call today a werewolf. Now the father Henry, he was devastated. He blamed himself, as his son told him that there was a creature out there that was stalking him, but he just didn't believe his son. And sadly, Henry, after years of looking, never saw this creature again, as Henry, he wanted revenge. Now this is a very popular story that has been told in this area for 100+ years, but no one really knows how true this story is. Many believe that it has to be based on an actual event, but was this creature really a werewolf? On this channel, we have covered a lot of werewolf and dogman sightings that are similar to this, and according to cryptozoologists, this encounter could be real, although some say that maybe it wasn't a werewolf, but a Bigfoot. There are a lot of Bigfoot sightings in Texas. If you look at this map, you can see in this area, close to where this werewolf story happened, you can see there are a ton of Bigfoot sightings. Some even say that if you wanted to see a Bigfoot for yourself, that Texas would be your best bet. I would have thought Northern California, Oregon, or maybe Washington would be where the most Bigfoot sightings are reported, not Texas. Although, I believe they call it the skunk ape in this region, as it might not be the exact same creature as Northern California's Bigfoot. Similar, but there are some differences. Well, at least according to a few eyewitnesses. About a year ago in Texas, there was a photo that was taken outside of a zoo. And this photo is now one of the most popular cryptid photos of all time, as it looks like a werewolf. At 1:25 a.m. on May 21st of last year, the motion cameras outside of the zoo captured this image that shows a creepy looking creature walking close to the fence. And the security guards, well, they couldn't believe what they were looking at. And thankfully a couple days later, the city decided to post this photo to Twitter in hopes that someone could explain it. But today, this photo still remains a mystery, although there are a ton of theories, such as maybe it's a raccoon walking on two legs. But if this was true, then this would have to be the world's biggest raccoon, as whatever this is about the same size of a human. Here's another famous picture that was captured by security footage in Brazil in 2015. And I have covered this before, but it is shocking at how many werewolf sightings there are in Brazil. There was also another mass sighting in Brazil that happened the same year, but I believe it was in a different city. Many people came forward and told the police that they saw a terrifying looking creature roaming the streets at night, and that this creature looked like a werewolf. And during this time, security cameras did catch an odd looking figure moving through a garden at night. But sadly, the security footage is such low quality, it's hard to make out what it actually is. Some say it's just a man acting crazy, while others believe that it's a werewolf they saw. Then we have this picture that was taken by a security guard in 1961 in Michigan. This security guard thought that there was an intruder, as something was making a heck of a lot of noise, so he ran to go get his gun. But instead of seeing a person, he saw this and decided to get his camera instead. And this creature is known as a Michigan Dogman. And I will cover this in more detail in the future, as there have been a lot of sightings of the Dogman throughout the years. Now, the most popular footage of a werewolf or a dogman is known as the Gable footage. And for many years people thought that this was real. But it turns out that it was just a clever hoax. But when I covered this in a previous video, I was surprised at how many people still think it's real. Until next time, this is Paranormal Junkie. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned.